Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm really glad to have you guys here. Now, today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2019, and you know what? I've been waiting for a meeting for, I guess, quite a few days now. It's a very important meeting. I've been waiting and watching to see what's going to happen in this meeting. Let's get started right here, and let's open up the charts, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this. This meeting is between Putin and Mike Pompeo, and the two of them come together. And why I've been waiting for this meeting and watching for what's going to happen in it so much is because these are the two superpowers. These are the two powers that actually decide what's going to happen in the world. And they had five or six issues that they were talking about that were very important to them. One of them was Iran, one of the issues. Another issue they were talking about was Venezuela, and they had these issues. So let's see what happened in these meetings. And I think that they accomplished an awful lot in these meetings. Very quickly, they accomplished an awful lot. First off, the first take I get from this meeting is, well, Pompeo said he warned Russia not to meddle in the 2020 elections. Okay, so they got that settled another way. And Venezuela. Now, as far as Venezuela is concerned, Nicolas Maduro. This is the take I got from the meeting. What happened is they discussed Nicolas Maduro, and Putin says he will not prop up Maduro. They discussed the fate of Venezuela. Putin will not prop up Maduro. What that means for Maduro is basically he's on his own now, you know. I mean, he can't rely upon Russia to save him, you know, in this. Of course, you know, Maduro has been basically, the people of Venezuela are a mess. They're a total mess. So, but now another take I get from this meeting is, and what we see being said here, you have to read between the lines a little bit, you know. They talked about arms control for Iran. And I guess the fundamental thing that I want to get across here is basically that Trump dials back aggressive stance with Iran. And I think it had a lot to do with this meeting. I think that basically Russia doesn't want them to mess too much with Iran. Look at this story here. It says, Mike Pompeo, U.S. is not seeking war with Iran. He's making that clear. I couldn't hear what they said in the meeting, but I can just guess that Russia does not want the United States messing with Iran. And so now what we're getting is we're probably going to see that, EU too urges the U.S. not to start a war with Iran. And what do we see saying here on this story? It says the U.S. does not seek a war with Iran. So he's come out of that meeting, Pompeo's come out of that meeting, and he's basically saying, no wars with Iran, no wars with Iran. And this has probably got something to do directly with that meeting. So we're probably going to see a cooling off with this heating up with Iran. Of course, now you have to understand, if Iran does something stupid, really stupid, you know what I mean? Especially around the Strait of Hormuz, the United States is going to protect their interest, you know. But at this point, it looks like the Iran thing is it says, we fundamentally do not seek war with Iran, Pompeo says. And so that's one of the takes I got from this situation that's coming out. Now, you know, we're well into enormous problems starting to develop with the dollar. And I'm going to do a show this afternoon, or try to get a show in this afternoon about what's coming in the future for the dollar, you know. And so anyway, let's get into the markets. Now, what we see here today is we see the silver price maintaining pretty steady at $1,477. No, what did I say? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, that was a skip. $14.07. I wish it was $1,477. But you know what? Someday we might see $1,477 silver. Quite seriously. That's how bad it's going to be, the dollar's demise. You know? Let's take a look at gold real quick here. $12.99. Oh, we're almost to $1,300. Look at that. Almost back to $1,300 again. Isn't that nice? Take a look at cryptocurrencies today. Cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin dominance has moved back away. It's backed away. It was 60%. It's back to 58%. That's a good sign for cryptocurrencies. When the Bitcoin dominance weakens, it means that basically that cryptocurrency is starting to level out at that new price it's moved to. Moved there kind of suddenly. So I'm not expecting any sharp downward moves in price to take it back down into the $3,000–$4,000 range. I'm not expecting that anymore. But I am expecting a little bit of a move possibly down in price. It might bring it down 1,000 or something, you know. But that's all part of the game. See, it goes way up and then it comes down a little bit and then it goes way up again. That's what we're in. I think we're back in the bull market again now at this point. And so it'll probably level off a little bit for a little while and maybe drop a little bit in price. And then it'll go up this next big pulse up, you know. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin itself. 79.46 on the day. Refresh at 79.20. So it's dropping back just a little bit. But it's stabilizing in here around these new price ranges. After some sudden moves up that got everybody in the crypto space extremely excited. Let's take a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, she's just opened up today, and, you know, this is really big what's happening with China and stuff. And so she's down 164 points on the day so far. I don't really see any good news for the Dow right now, you know, because the bad news is really going to be for the dollar. The dollar's getting ready to take a huge hit, and I'm going to explain it later in my show, I do. Let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is $61.07. It's down 0.71 cents or 1.15% today on the day. And, you know, the tensions in around the Strait of Hormuz, you know, should run oil prices up higher, but it's not. Oil prices are staying down, you know, and I guess there's a glut in U.S. inventories, a build in U.S. inventories. Let's take a look now at U.S. Treasury bonds and see what they're doing today. You know what? We're heading full steam toward this yield curve inversion, and today is really moving big, really moving big. The U.S. 5-year, almost 6 basis points. The U.S. 7-year, almost 6 basis points down. You know, they're really massively moving into Treasuries. Now, on my show I do this afternoon, I'm going to explain why this is the worst move possible, is in the U.S. Treasuries. Even though it's deemed as the most safe haven asset in the world, something big this way comes, and it's got everything to do with the trade deals with China that are going on. I'm going to explain it in really good detail later in my show. But look at them falling. Even the 30 years moving really good today. Over 3 basis points, it's fell down. 2.82 on the 30-year. It's been the only holdout on this yield curve inversion. We've got an inversion all the way through the 10-year, and that inversion's getting stronger and stronger. Look at the 10-year, 2.37%, and you can get 2.42% on a 6-month. You know? Really strong yield curve inversion here. And it's getting worse by the day. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index today. 97.65. You know, I can't emphasize the importance. They got an awful lot done. Putin and Pompeo really got an awful lot done in these meetings, and I think things are moving toward better relations between Russia and the United States. And this meeting is a really good first step. I really think Pompeo got a lot done in these meetings. He got a lot of the issues settled, and I think basically what's happened is I think Russia said back off of Iran, and I think Russia said basically I'm just generalizing. So for you guys, I think basically what they said was, we're not going to protect Venezuela. Whatever happens there, but back off of Iran. I think that's what happened here in these meetings. And also, Putin is very open to the idea of better U.S.-Russian relations. They got a lot done. They really got a lot done. They're the two countries that set world policy. Now, China has been an up-and-comer. It's made it about 3/4 of the way there to being a bristlingly powerful superpower like the United States and Russia. But it wasn't quite there. It's getting almost there. I think that the legs have been knocked out from under that table. You know what I mean? And I think China now is on its way down. I mean, this is really... We had weak presidents come along who allowed China to build up the strength that they have. And get to the point where they are now, where they're almost as powerful as Russia and the United States. China's economy. China had plans. They had big plans. They were going to conquer the entire world. This was what their plans were. World domination. They were going to make friends with Russia, but ultimately, I think in the end, they wanted the power over Russia and the United States. They wanted the power over the entire world. This was their manifest destiny, And all of a sudden, we get a president that's coming in who's just knocking the legs right out from underneath their table, And honest to God, I don't think they really know what to do. I think that they're scrambling right now. Because basically, it's like a guy that goes to work every day, at a job, and all of a sudden he loses his job. Now, what's he going to do? Well, this is the way with China. All of a sudden, the United States is basically cutting off their entire a big chunk of their income, and they're already were over leveraging themselves. They're like a guy that went out and bought too many credit cards and stuff because he had a good job. Suddenly, he loses his good job, and now he's got all these credit card bills and everything coming in. And that's the way with China. Their economy, this real estate market was like these credit cards and the shadow banking and the big, huge debt that they've taken out and everything else. And they're relying upon this trade to pay all these bills. And all of a sudden, trades just went down the toilet. Now, the effect it's going to have on the United States economy, that's what I'm really going to get into in my program that I'm going to do this afternoon. I'm going to talk about the effects it's going to have on the United States economy. Listen, thank you guys for listening to my show. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff. Really appreciate my audience out there. I try to listen to all you guys' comments, and I try to answer some of the questions if they're not too difficult for me to answer. Listen, thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.